Pancakes and bacon. Oh, look, now you're pointing at me. God damn it.
We got pancakes and bacon as the opening. I love it.
Making pancakes, making pancakes, making pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Make the bacon and I put it in a pancake. Bacon pancake, making bacon pancake, bacon pancakes.
Bacon.
Yay!
Well, that wasn't my original story. In lieu of something that happened this week, which I'll talk about as my news of the week, I've been watching Aladdin a lot at work because it is the only movie that I actually found out that we have Fern Gully though, so that'll probably be this week.
That's a good flick.
But I found out that a lot of the kids don't know who the genie is. So guess who was playing Introduction to the Genie?
Nice.
And then all the babies were laughing at me because they put me in charge of the babies at night, which terrifying. They were laughing at me as I would sing along with "Never Had a Friend Like Me."
I need to watch that movie again. I don't own it, and it's not streaming, and I haven't paid attention to what channels it's playing on.
I apparently own it in 3 different forms.
Nice.
I was obsessed with that movie as a kid. Princess Jasmine was the closest thing that looked like me. So she was the one that I latched onto because I was like, look, I could be a princess too.
I just love the fact they had to change the music because of some of the original lyrics in there. Like,
yeah.
Arabian Nights originally had a line, something along the lines, if you do something wrong, they'll cut off your hand, and they had to take that out.
I love the best thing I heard about that movie this week was that it was going to be nominated for Best Script for the Oscars, and they removed the nomination. They wouldn't allow it because a certain actor improvs 70% of his lines.
Yeah. Then that's why Robert Downey Jr. could never win an Oscar for Sherlock Holmes or Iron Man then, because he improved almost all of that, supposedly.
Yeah. Well, there was if you ever looking into movies that changed throughout the course of time, Emperor's New Groove, which was it's still an amazing movie to me. I love that movie so much. Emperor's New Groove was actually much darker and much scarier. Yzma was going to raise the dead, I believe is what it was, and was going to take over the kingdom with a zombie horde, and they had to change it to make it more lighthearted. And
wow, that movie would have been much more fun with a necromancer. That's all. I think it would have been a blast.
Apparently, it didn't test well with children.
Yeah, go figure.
Whiners. So yeah, that's my story this week. Is I've been introducing children to the wonders that we had growing up, and they are now currently deprived of. Yeah, and now I'm sad inside. I made myself sad.
Now I'm bummed. Oh well, I guess I'll do my news because it's not a bummer.
I didn't actually do. That wasn't actually my news. That was just the story.
I know, but now I'm sad because of the story.
Well, you haven't even done we haven't even done our intro. Come on, Chris, get on this.
I'm slacking off, guys. I'm sorry.
Apparently.
So I thought he said something else completely.
Hey, welcome everyone to episode 120 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast, recorded live on Sunday, August 7th, 2014. You've got the main crew here. You've got me, Chris. You've got Naki.
Hi.
And of course, we've got one Mr. Anthony Bachman.
Taco
flavored Kisses. Sorry, I've got South Park stuck in my head.
Taco, burrito.
And a loud good morning to everyone in our chat room, and by everyone I mean Draftsman.
Hi, Draftsman.
And the other Draftsman, apparently.
Yes, supposedly there's 2 Draftsmen in the chat room, so this could be interesting, perhaps?
Everybody fight. There can only be one.
Only one Draftsman?
Fair enough, yeah.
Fair enough. Wow,
Is that Draftsman's brother? Because I know Draftsman's brother, too. I used to yell at him a lot.
Did you? What did you yell at him about?
Because he would disappear. He would be in the middle of a job and he'd disappear, and I'd get pissed.
That's not good.
Oh, Drasman knows. Drasman knows. I think that's actually how Drasman and I bonded, was beating up his brother.
This has been Inside the Actor's Studio, and I got nothing.
Aw. Now I'm sad inside again.
Are you sad because I did Inside the Actor's Studio poorly?
That was the last episode I watched.
Oh.
Ah. That makes sense.
I could see that would be a bummer then. Can't find this article I'm looking for. All right,
okay,
well,
so should we just do my official news now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do your official news, because then we can be downers and we can kind of up everything after that, after we all feel sad.
Okay, so my official news of the week, as if you can't figure it out, is Robin Williams passed away this week. I have been a mess. I'm sure a lot of people have. I know a lot of people at the comedy club that I work at were really messed up because a lot of us got our start because of Robin Williams. Between him and George Carlin, and I honestly can't remember who I listened to first. That's how deep this runs here. I memorized both of their stand-up acts, and that's when I decided that I could do it too. And it's so to me, and then like you got all of the voices of our childhood. You got every movie that he's been in. Which, if you look at his IMDb site, it's huge. He's been in like everything, and in all different kinds of genres too. We
went through the whole thing on our Spoiler Alert Theater in memoriam of Robin Williams. We literally went through his entire IMDb.
It was
huge. A blast.
I know how many people they took personally to it. It's one of those things that like, and I think what the worst part was that, you know, everyone was like, I think, well, because it was announced, you know, as a suicide and everything like that, that's when it hurt even worse, because you're just like, how can someone so wonderful be in so much pain, you know?
Yeah. Well, and someone that brings so much joy to other people's lives have so much trouble dealing with their own.
Well, and it's something he's sort of talked about a lot in his past, is that
yeah.
there was always a darkness about him, and used comedy to overcome that, it seemed like. And there's some of his early stand-ups and things like that, and even some of his midlife stand-ups where he starts talking about divorce, how you're always paying through your heart and your wallet through your heart and stuff like that. He's had some dark moments, and I think he used comedy as his tool to try and cope with that.
Well, they had him on Doug Loves Movies. Mark Maron was on, I think, 2 episodes ago, and he said he re-put up the episode where Robin Williams was on Mark Maron's What the Fuck podcast, and he said it's really hard to go back and listen to, because at the end of the podcast, Robin Williams was having a conversation with himself, talking himself out of suicide.
Oof.
So yeah, that's out there if you want to go hear it, but apparently right now it's really hard to listen to.
Yeah, no doubt.
I use Spotify. Not that I am paid to promote or anything like that, but I use Spotify. I know, if you want to pay, I'm totally down.
Sorry, I was trying to inject a moment of levity.
We can dig on a Spotify sponsorship. That would be
Spotify.com/bacon. That would be us.
There you go.
Or Epic Mealtime.
I think they'll go to Epic Mealtime first. We might get pantslessness or something. I was using it to listen to some of his stand-up, and I listened to the last, I believe it was the last ones he did, The World Ends, I believe is what it was called. And he talks about his alcoholism. And, like, he talks about his alcoholism and depression. He had talked about that a lot. But he kind of delved into, like, the comedy side of the alcoholism and stuff like that. But you see the moments. You see it. And you're just like, and, you know, you go back to it later and you're like, wow. Like, and I mean, I understand. I use comedy to get through depression. I have bipolar disorder, and I've never hit it. And it's an easier route to take than to actually go where your brain wants you to go.
Right. I mean, I think we can say one of our takeaways from this is, if you're considering suicide, things like that, find someone to talk to. Don't let yourself go down that path. I mean, that's one of the things that a lot of people have been going on online and saying lately, and it applies here. If
It does.
you're in a dark place, talk to someone. Try and find the help. Don't try and take care of it yourself if you can't.
That being said, though, and I say this as a word of precaution, because it's, I've been in that place. Don't talk to someone you don't actually. Well, okay. Don't talk to a non-trained professional that you don't know.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because I've had people who have approached me online who are suicidal, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know how to deal with this situation other than I want to call the cops to go check on you.
And there is an 800 number people can call. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but there are places out there to help folks, and I hope people use them.
Yeah, I really do too. I really hope that I know that his death has sparked a lot of talk, which has helped. Maybe someone will see that mental health is health in general, and will cover more of it and offer more free of it, because it's a lot of people don't believe that mental health is something you need to take care of, but it really is, because just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
Exactly.
And the National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 1-800-273-TALK or 1-800-273-8255.
There you go. Use it. If you feel like you're in that dark place, you should use it.
Exactly.
Should we go to lighter news? Because I have lighter news too, thanks to Anthony this morning.
Let's go to some lighter news, and we'll let you do the lighter news too. Right? As your
Anthony,
news of the week, this was our overarching news for everything. It's definitely an upsetting situation, sad thing. So we're going to kick it to Naki for her news of the week.
Bob's Burgers won an Emmy for outstanding animated series. Yay! I'm the only one on the show excited about it.
Yeah,
but you guys don't understand how much I love Bob's Burgers.
Yes, I do. Otherwise, I wouldn't have shared that news story with you.
And I appreciate it, Anthony. It's best. I love Bob's Burgers. Between Bob's Burgers and Archer, I can recite like everything that's happening. It's amazing to me. Actually, speaking of Archer, that's the board game Boyfriend got me for my birthday, and I really want to play it. So, Chicagoland people, let's do this.
Did they get some of the awards last night? Because I could have sworn I saw something about the actress who plays Crazy Eyes won an award.
Oh, did she? Yay!
That's what I've seen online, but I can't find the results anywhere.
I'm almost done with season 2, and she's been so great this season.
Yeah, Crazy Eyes has an interesting season. If you guys haven't watched Orange is the New Black, really good show. We just finished season 2 last night, and now I'm going, oh my god, when's season 3 start? And it's going to be a while.
It's a great show.
I'm almost done with season 2. Oh, are we supposed to announce this? I finished season 1 of Arrow.
So what's the verdict here, Naki? When we last talked to you, you had only gone about 7 or 8 episodes in. You were kind of meh, for lack of a better term. After finishing the complete arc of season 1, where do you sit on Arrow, Naki?
I actually really enjoy it now. We just had to get past the shitty rich kids are pissed off at their parents arc. And then once we got past that, it was actually really interesting, and I liked it.
I'm pretty sure that Anthony and I told you that's what was going to happen.
I know.
You just had to pay your dues on that show, and then it turns into something really good.
That part was soul-sucking. I'm just like, oh my god, I get it. You're rich and you're angry. Come on. But once we got past that part...
it was trying to follow the CW formula early on, I think, is the best way of putting it.
That's so terrible. But yeah, I really enjoy it. And now I'm pissed that I can't watch season 2 anywhere because it's not streaming and it's not. There's no way for me to watch it.
I was hoping it would be on Netflix like they did season 1 early on, but I think that since they've got a really good following now, they're like, yeah, we'll hold off on the whole Netflix part for season 2.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that when she'd get done with season 1 because I was sitting there watching season 2 on the CW's website the day after it came out every night because I could watch it the next day while I was coloring.
Yeah, they only got the last 4 episodes or something like that.
Yeah, 4 episodes up.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I never deleted any of the episodes off my DVR. That's what happens when you have a 1 terabyte hard drive in your DVR. You just never delete.
I have to go through my DVR and delete stuff, and apparently add Arrow to my DVR.
Yes.
Wednesday nights, is it, or Tuesday? Wednesday nights.
Wednesday nights is what it was. Yep.
Well, when does Flash start? Because I should
Tuesday,
do that now.
October 11th or 12th, I think.
Isn't it like 51 days now? I think they put out the post yesterday that said for the DC 52, it was 52 days until the Flash.
Yeah, something like that.
So I guess today it should be 51. And Drasmy said, "Yay, Naki has finished Arrow."
So I'm just happy we converted Naki because we told you so. We knew you'd like it. We're here to help.
And even if getting to the end of season 1 you're just starting to like it, that's like the worst Arrow. Like, it gets so much better in season 2.
Yeah, they ramp up the intensity so much within like the first 2 episodes of season 2. You're like, holy crap.
Well, I think by the time season 2 started, they knew that they weren't going to get canceled, and they knew that the writers could take a lot more risks storyline-wise and bringing in more influence from the DC universe, and that the fans were going to dig it, and that it didn't need to be like a cookie-cutter CW show.
Exactly.
That they could really kind of push it, and that the fans would enjoy it.
And continuing with the fan stuff here, I started following Stephen Amell on Facebook, and if his superhero workouts don't make you want to, amp up your workout,
yeah,
holy crap!
He makes me feel very, very lazy whenever I watch one of his workouts.
Yeah,
the best is all the people have watched that and be like, "You need to be on American Ninja Warrior," and he's like, "Do it, I'll be there, make it happen." But I'm like, I want to see Stephen Amell on there, and the best part is the Facebook and Twitter back and forth you see between him and Casey Catanzaro. Who was the first woman to clear qualifying and stuff like that. And she's like, "You need to come do it." He's like,
"Awesome."
Oh, I know. This show is like crazily addicting to me because I know I'll never be able to do it, but it's just really cool to see what people are able to pull off.
See, I'm hipster when it comes to Ninja Warrior. I started watching Ninja Warrior like 10 years ago when it was only in Japan.
Nice. I've watched those ones too. I mean, that's what I started on because they used to show the reruns all the time on Tech TV/G4 in the earlier days. So I watched a bunch of those, but I enjoy the American Ninja Warrior.
Makoto Nagano. I had such a crush on Makoto Nagano. No idea. And nobody knows what I'm talking about, but I
never had Tech TV, so I was one of those people until they brought it to NBC. I'd never even heard of it. I didn't know it was a thing. I was like, this show is fucking amazing.
If you can find it, I highly recommend watching the original Ninja Warrior. I don't watch the American Ninja Warrior because it pisses me off. Not that it's bad or anything like that, but I don't like the announcers. They make me angry. They're just not as charismatic as if you watch the Japanese ones. The Japanese announcers, like, they literally had crushes on these guys as they're running through. So, like, there was one episode where this guy, he was hot, and I can't remember his name because he wasn't like one that lasted or anything like that. But he was hot, and the announcer was like, "And his delicious man meat has hit the water," and you're just like, "What?"
Wow. Wait, and so is there versions of it online that's subtitled? Because I'm assuming it's actually in Japanese, right?
Yeah, it's in Japanese. I believe so. I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
It's called like Sasuke or something like that, isn't it?
The
old ones.
Yeah, Sasuke.
Well, yeah, I highly doubt that it's called American Ninja Warrior.
Because it was translated Ninja Warrior.
Just Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you ever get the chance to find the original Ninja Warrior in Japanese with the crazy announcer that just like made the show for me, I highly recommend it. The announcer was fantastic, and some of the stunts the guys pulled, like there was the guy who always ran as Superman. There was the diaper man that freaked out the announcer. he would just make fun of him. It was seriously.
Anthony, if you want some of the originals, just go on YouTube and look for Ninja Warrior Sasuke, Sasuke. There's a bunch of fully uploaded episodes on there, it looks like.
There you
go. That's actually what I was checking.
Ones.
Was trying to figure out how to spell Sasuke.
Yeah. I want to have a breaking news thing here for some internet stupidity I just saw that has to be shared because it's so bad. This was on Twitter, and someone thankfully cropped out their Twitter name out of the screenshot they took, so we can't beat them up too much. But it says, "Oh my God, I just read that China is 12 hours ahead of America. Why didn't they warn them about 9/11? That's such bullshit. Fuck you, China." Like
I saw that on Reddit. I saw that on Reddit. I was just like, what? It was a physical facepalm.
I literally
the amount of stupid people, like, it's like seeing the ones where like kids saying, "What, Titanic was real?"
Yeah.
Why didn't the film crew help those people? Like, it's unbelievable how fucking stupid some people are.
Yeah, that's one of the stupidest things I've seen all day. And actually,
and it's only 10:30 in the morning.
No, seriously.
If they're in the future, why didn't they warn us? Jeez.
Gosh.
God.
So I'll just take my news story next. It's been Shark Week on Discovery Channel, if you guys hadn't realized. So it's been shark myths and shark stories all the time. So to wrap up Shark Week, yeah, and Sharknadoes, I wanted to go with a shark-related story I found on The Verge, and it's basically that Google has to reinforce their undersea cabling with Kevlar because sharks keep biting them and breaking them. Well. So when they bury fiber optic lines and things like that, they have to wrap it in Kevlar because there's something about the electromagnetic field they put out, and sharks are able to detect electromagnetic fields and hunt based off them, where they keep attacking these cables and then shearing them.
Or they should just change
themselves.
Yeah, it probably doesn't feel too good when they bite through it.
Probably not.
But they should just change the electromagnetic field so that it doesn't sound to the sharks that it's like a seal.
Well, that's the theory as to why they're doing it. It hasn't been confirmed. There's a couple different theories out there with some science behind it, so it's not decided that that's 100%.
Well, it makes sense, because, yeah, they've proven that sharks can track through electromagnetic fields, so it's got to be something due to the current going through the wires.
That's what I was thinking. And The Verge has an interesting story up about it, including a video from 1987, I think it is, of sharks attacking submerged cabling. It was pretty cool, and I thought that was a nice way to wrap up the Shark Week festivities.
It's like, come on, guys, quit wrapping chum around the cables. It's just not funny anymore.
There's been a lot of talk during this Shark Week, and I don't actually give a shit about Shark Week because whatever. But there's been a lot of backlash towards Discovery this year because they discovered last year that they were putting out false information about sharks, and this year, like, people are out there with their notebooks, like, marking down every time that they say something wrong about sharks. And holy shit!
I read some of that, and there was one guy, a scientist. They did this one episode, like the ghost shark or something that's supposed to live in like the delta of the Mississippi River or something like that. And the guy says, no, it's impossible to have happened. And then they quoted him out of context in there and like cut out part of his quote to say it's possible they could have existed. And he's like, you completely misquoted me, Discovery Channel.
Yeah, like, you would think after last year with that backlash that they would have fixed that, but oh my god.
Let's be honest, Discovery Channel is not really Discovery like we used to know.
That's true. Discovery Channel used to be the channel that I would watch for all my animal info, and I used to watch like the fucking Crocodile Hunter, rest in peace, because I loved him. I loved the Crocodile Hunter.
Yeah, but the big thing is, as long as Discovery
it's so hard
has
to not make a
Mythbusters,
stingray joke.
I know. He died doing what he loved.
Yeah, poking creatures.
Who poked
look at
back
this stingray.
sometimes.
Oi, hey you, oi, oh shit.
I was playing with a stingray the last time. I think it was the last time I went to the zoo. They have a thing called Stingray Bay, where you can go and you can pet stingrays and you can feed them. And I'm just like, these are amazing. Oh, you killed my friend.
I got to pet a manta ray at the San Diego SeaWorld. It felt like a live hot dog.
Yeah, basically.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah. It was like if the texture of a hot dog was still kicking and moving around. It was the creepiest thing ever.
And I will say, I know I just bitched a little about Discovery's content. The fact of the matter is, it's still one of my favorite channels to watch, between like Mythbusters and I'm strangely addicted to Deadliest Catch. Still.
It's still a lot better than TLC, which is just teaching America how to be mentally challenged.
Yes,
TLC used to have quality programming on there.
Well, it's the way the cable channels morph.
Whoever it was that made MTV change their name because they're not music television anymore, they're literally just MTV, needs to force the Learning Channel to change their name because they're not the fucking Learning Channel. You can't learn anything on that channel except how to be a jackass on reality TV.
Yeah, pretty much.
And how to be a beauty pageant kid star.
Yeah, like I said, jackass.
It is creepy.
It's weird.
That whole channel could be firebombed and the world would be better for it.
Oh, Draftsman has pointed out in the chat room, he said Stephen Amell has taken the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Have you guys been watching those videos?
There's some really good ones out there.
Chris Pratt's second one.
I saw Chris Pratt's first one.
Yeah, he got challenged again, so in the second one he decided to change it up, and he does a shot of iced vodka and then drinks a Smirnoff Ice.
He got iced. I like it. I hate getting iced, man. You go to tailgates here and sometimes you get iced. It's degrading. Do you guys know what getting iced is?
Nope.
It's basically you have to carry around some Smirnoff Ices in your pockets or whatever, and if you hand it to someone and they grab it, they then have to get down on one knee and chug it.
That just sounds terrible.
But what you can do is if you have one in your pocket, you can block. And then by blocking, you make them have to get down on one knee and drink both. Where it gets problematic is if you block back and forth like 4 or 5 times. It's a long day.
I just feel like that just ends badly for everybody.
Yeah, but it's kind of degrading to have to drink lukewarm Smirnoff Ice.
Really bored.
Also, yes.
It's not a West Virginia game, man. We just kind of took it over.
Well, I know it ain't an Idaho thing, so I don't know.
Draftsman has also said in the chat room, he said he's tempted to take the challenge just to make us do it, but he wants video evidence.
I'd do it. But not that I'm saying that Draftsman should do that to us, but I'm saying I'd do it.
Well, the study is, I think a lot. It's weird because I've seen a lot of backlash because people are talking about that people aren't even mentioning ALS sometimes in their challenge videos, which is a little sad.
Yeah.
But like some of the videos have been hilarious. Like Steve Cardenas, who was the Red Ranger, he did it, and he did one video with the red. He put the helmet on, like he put his red Power Ranger helmet on over his civilian clothes, and then had him dump a bucket. And like people complained that he was wearing a helmet. It's like he's still giving the money to charity. He still did the video. He made it fun. It's like people can complain about anything. It's so freaking sad.
Well, that's the nature of the internet. People are going to bitch about everything.
Yeah.
That's the sad thing. But let's do something happier. You got news for us this week, Anthony?
Yes, I do.
Sweet.
Saw a little quick article. I went to the Latino Review because they seemed, I don't know who it is, but somebody at the Latino Review has a cousin or a brother-in-law or fucking somebody that actually works at Marvel, because they seem to get everything ahead of time, and they seem to be, like, all their forecasting news seems to be, like, 85-90% right. They're almost always on the button. They have some great fucking reporters at that website. But they did which Marvel Cinematic Universe characters might we see in Marvel's Ant-Man, and so they were talking about when Edgar Wright was trying to say that he was going to insert more characters into Ant-Man. From what they've heard from the earlier drafts of the Hank Pym in the first act, so when we're going to see like a flashback to a young Michael Douglas as Hank Pym, there's supposed to be a meeting with S.H.I.E.L.D., so you're supposedly going to see Howard Stark, Peggy Carter, Armin Zola, and a young Alexander Pierce. So I think could be kind of cool, and it definitely makes sense because in the Ant-Man film, we know we're getting Michael Douglas as Hank Pym, so he's like the old retired superhero, and then we're going to get Rude as Scott Lang, and so the idea of them having both those actors and it totally makes sense that there'd be a flashback to an earlier thing of like what Ant-Man was doing when it was in the past and nobody knew who he was, and he was probably just a super spy basically. So yeah, I think that could be a really cool setup for adding a lot of the characters in. And then they mentioned in the review, because it'd be also another way to set up some more interesting or more interest in the Agent Carter TV series, because it gives you another flashback to that time sequence.
And there you go. You gotta look for their selling point. Haha.
Yep.
I mean, I'm interested to see what happens in this one. I know a lot of people are super worried right now because of all the turnover and churn with that movie, but at this point, Marvel Studios, I tend to trust them.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say on that one.
So far, they really don't do anything wrong.
No.
No matter how weird their decisions sound, it turns out right, man.
Exactly. So Ant-Man is still on my excited list. I guess we should touch on this real quick, even though everyone already predicted this months ago. Jason Momoa officially cast as Aquaman.
Woo.
Yay!
I have stuff from Gamescom, which is happening right now. Gen Con is also happening right now. Holy shit, there's news this week, guys.
Yeah, before we get that, there's one thing I wanted to touch on right now. Have you guys ever wanted to own an Action Comics #1, a.k.a. Superman's debut?
And I looked at that eBay auction, and it makes me very, very sad that I haven't won the lottery yet.
Yes, if you go on eBay right now and you get yourself pre-approved, there is a CGC 9.0 Action Comics #1 for sale. Does anyone want to care to guess where that is right now? What it's going for at the moment?
$1 billion.
It's less than that.
When I looked at it, it had only popped just above like 1.2 million. It wasn't that high yet.
I just loaded the screen myself. Action Comics #1 CGC 9.0 is currently, the current bid is $1.75 million.
That's not that bad.
No.
Somebody needed some money. Somebody help them out.
Yeah, and to keep in mind also, guys, this auction is benefiting the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, so it's going for a good cause. If you have a crap ton of money and you listen to our show for some reason, number one, thank you.
And donate to us.
Okay, number 2, donate to us. And number 3, if you're interested in this comic and you want to give money to a good cause, go check it out over at eBay. I mean, there's listings all over the place. I just thought it was kind of incredible to see an Action Comics number 1 in such good shape.
Well, it's the highest rated Action Comics number 1 that's left on the planet. And yeah, it's one of those eBay auctions where literally you have to be the type of person where they have to verify who you are before you're even allowed to bid. So it's not one of those ones where people can go in and fuck with it. You have to have permission to bid on this item. Because yeah, it's going to go for a couple $1 million. The last one that was near a CGC of that grade went for over $3 million.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. If you guys are really curious about it, you can go check out their website. They've got a whole backstory on the comic and some of the other Action Comics that have come up that are highly graded and things like that. It's really cool. They're kind of making a big event out of this. I guess it's even sponsored somehow by like Verizon or something. I don't know how, but it's really interesting from a comic fan to see an old book like that is in such good shape and everything that's going on. It's fantastic looking.
Because Verizon gets their hands on everything.
They're trying. Yeah, it is a gorgeous copy of the book. It looks so nice, it's hard to believe that it's actually real. Because it doesn't look like it should have held up that well. It's a pretty copy of Action Comics.
I want a pretty copy of Action Comics number 1.
I want a pretty copy of Amazing Fantasy number 15, but...
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Well,
they're both on the Holy Grail list.
Exactly. Since we're on Superman right now, there is one thing I want to share real quick, is that you guys know Jeff Johns and John Romita Jr. have teamed up to do the Superman book for DC. Well, Superman 34 has a variant cover where John Romita Sr. draws the cover to the book.
Which I can't believe that that's happening. I understood when they got Junior. I was like, this is cool. Junior's never worked for DC before, but the fact that he talked his dad, he must have talked his dad into it. Because that's the only way it would happen. But yeah, JR Sr. drawing Superman is fucking awesome.
And according to JR Sr., this is the first time he's drawn a Superman on a comic book cover. So this is happening, people, and it's fantastic to see. I love it. I brought it up on the live screen for anyone who's watching the live stream.
That is very
So for
pretty.
the draftsman.
Yeah, for the draftsman or anyone who watches later on YouTube. On the YouTubes.
The tubes that are you.
Let's see. One other thing I want to touch on real quick. This is all minor news right now. Guardians of the Galaxy broke the $200 million mark this weekend. Awesome.
Yay!
Woot, 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 woot.
I've only seen it once. I got to go see it again still.
I've seen it 3 times now.
Damn.
Nice. Naki's in the lead.
Yeah, you're in the lead.
The wife to see it.
Boyfriend took me on Tuesday. That's what pushed me ahead. Can we talk about the thing that we have talked other people into doing? Chris, can we talk about editing? Talk about editing.
What?
I'm so confused. Just go ahead.
X-Wing! Let's talk X-Wing.
Okay.
We talked other people into doing X-Wing.
We have, if you guys remember,
leave my allowance money alone.
Yes, Ryan's come on the show and got me to play X-Wing, got Naki to play X-Wing, and got others on the internet to play. With Gen Con going on, Fantasy Flights Games has basically decided they want more of my money, as they have announced some of the new kits. They've introduced a third faction to the X-Wing game. It used to be just Rebels and Imperials. Now there's the Scum and Villainry faction, which is all of your bounty hunters and assassins and things like that.
I want to play as Boba Fett.
It's so
hard-working, blue-collar mercenaries. Yeah, they're good guys.
I mean, and what they've done also is they've issued a conversion kit in this, so like you can take the Slave 1 ship that you bought as part of the Imperial faction and now convert it into the Scum and Villainry faction, and it's really badass. I'm going to go a little down into the weeds here, but Slave 1's ability when Boba Fett's the pilot, when attacking or defending, you re-roll one of your dice for each enemy ship at range 1. That's ridiculously powerful.
I have a question about that. Can you change pilots for any ship in the game?
Each ship has a certain set of pilot cards that can be put to it. So you've got a stack of like X-Wing pilot cards can be put on X-Wing, but you can't take an X-Wing pilot and put them in a Y-Wing, for instance. So
okay,
pilots
I'm
are
just
mapped to
wondering,
ships.
like, who else would have the balls to try to pilot Slave 1?
Oh, well, there's different variants. Well, technically, this is only a Fire Spray 31. This is called because there's a 1-point card you can play that is a Slave 1 title card that then makes it Slave 1 and gives it a different ability on top of that. Same thing with the Millennium Falcon. You have to actually play the Millennium Falcon title card for it to be the Millennium Falcon.
Otherwise
it's just a big ship.
It's just a YT-1300 otherwise.
Ah, okay. I guess that kind of makes sense. Just, I was trying to think, like, who else would pilot Slave 1? No one's got the balls to steal fucking Boba's ship.
Exactly. It is a really fun game. They have announced as some of their expansions there is a 3-pack that is 2 Z95 Headhunters and a Y-Wing that you can buy. That's the most wanted expansion pack, I believe. There is the Star Viper expansion pack. For those that are familiar with Shadows of the Empire, the Star Viper is Prince Shizor's ship. So now you can buy that and have it as part of your fleet. You can also get an M3A Interceptor expansion pack, which I think is a Mandalorian ship. I'm not sure, though. And then the IG-2000 expansion pack, which is IG-88's vessel.
I don't own the game.
They want all my money.
If you don't actually own the game, but you've just looked at these ships, the models that they use for this are fucking gorgeous.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I want, like, part of me, I don't even own the game because I can't afford to own the game because that's redonkulous how much stuff there is. But I just want the Millennium Falcon model just to have it because it's beautiful.
One of the guys that plays at our local store has also created some sticker cutouts of the engine glow for the Millennium Falcon. So instead of having to paint it, you can just drop one of the stickers in there. It's really cool.
Nice.
I haven't played anything. I haven't bought anything since Wave 3, I don't think. So I need to buy some more stuff. I haven't gotten to play in a little while either is the problem.
The miniatures game for this is just amazing. I'm not even a huge miniatures fan because of how much goes into it, but it's fucking gorgeous. I think at Gen Con they also announced more expansion to Star Wars the trading card game.
And a new version of, not a new version of X-Wing, but another miniatures game set in the Star Wars universe. I can't remember what it's called.
So if you're a Star Wars gamer fan, there's quite a lot of news for you in there.
That being said, I just can't get into the card-based ones. It's Star Wars Armada, that's what it is the new game. And it's capital ship attacks.
I don't like that style of game. It's if you like Android Netrunner, Magic the Gathering. Well, okay, Magic the Gathering is not. No, it's not. That's not right. But if you like Android Netrunner, it's on the same baseline. Is it Lord of the Rings? No, it's Game of Thrones, who also has a similar card game style. It's not for me. I know Ryan. It's in one of his top 3 games. I know Boyfriend has it. I don't like that style, but more power to you if you like it. I know a lot of people do, though.
And there is an expansion to DC Deck Builder that came out last week, I want to say.
Yes. There was a mini expansion, and then there was the full expansion that came out, I believe, in October.
Well, that wasn't a full expansion. That was just a new set of playable cards. It was almost like version 1.5, for lack of a better term, because I've got both.
Oh, okay.
And it made locations a little less powerful, which is the nice thing. This is like really down in the weeds board game talk for some people. So if you guys don't like board games, sucks, dude, because these are awesome.
These DC Deck Builder is amazing. It is the first game to me that is a deck building game that really integrates the characters. Whereas like Marvel also has a deck building game, but it's really interchangeable. You didn't have to it could just be a deck building game and it not necessarily be Marvel. Like it doesn't integrate the character types or anything like that, and it's actually really disappointing.
I just went on Fantasy Flight's website and there's another game that I missed being talked about. I guess it was just announced yesterday? No, 2 days ago. It is Star Wars Imperial Assault, which is a board game of tactical combat in Star Wars.
Ooh.
And it looks like
that one catches my attention.
Yes.
Nice.
Proud to announce the upcoming release of Imperial Assault, a Star Wars board game of cinematic adventure and tactical combat for 2 to 5 players. Cast you and your friends in the climactic events following the Death Star's destruction above Yavin 4 and offers 2 full game experiences within the Star Wars universe. In a campaign game, you and up to 4 other friends play a series of thrilling missions woven together in a narrative campaign. And in the skirmish game, you and an opponent muster your own strikes and battle head-to-head. The game board looks awesome. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. I should have done that while I was reading, but I'm intrigued, and Fantasy Flight wants more of my money.
Fantasy Flight is really good at taking my money. Ooh.
am very intrigued.
So so it is another miniatures.
It's another miniature game, but like combat based, and looks like you can build different maps and stuff.
X-Wing would be considered combat based. Ooh.
And they've all got different cards. Sorry, I'm getting attacked by a cat right now, guys.
Kitty! Show us your pussy. Show us your pussy.
I have to play this. Damn you, Fantasy Flight Games, for making me spend even more god-awful amounts of money. Seriously.
Show us your pussy. Show us your pussy.
I can't. The cat's on all over me. I lost track of what I was going to say, in all honesty, because I got distracted. Would anyone else have any story they want to touch on while I get my train of thought back?
Another convention that's going on this week, other than Gen Con, is Gamescom, which is basically like video game conference. A lot of announcements have come out of there. The trailer for Borderlands, the pre-sequel, which is what I have been tracking.
That's going to be fun. I really think so.
It is going to be a lot of fun. Yay, pussy!
That's just for you, Naki. I showed you my pussy.
Yeah.
Cat. Pussy cat.
Borderlands
you lost your train of thought, didn't you?
I did.
I show Naki my pussy and she loses her train of thought. That's a magic pussy.
Jeez.
Borderlands the pre-sequel, they released the trailer for it. They used Congos this time around. For those of you who track the music, the Congo song is one of my favorite songs. It's on the radio right now, so I was kind of excited about that. But it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It looks like it's going along the same lines as Borderlands 2. Handsome Jack is in this one, which makes me super excited because he is my favorite villain, I believe. As of right now, he's still my favorite villain in the video game universe. I still have not yet played BioShock Infinite, though, so I've been told that might hinder my thoughts on that. The problem with that is I don't have time. And when Borderlands the pre-sequel comes out, it's right in the middle of midterms. So
ooh, that sucks.
It hurts my heart so much that I can't I might go pre-order it anyways.
I still need to go pre-order Arkham Knight.
I don't have an Xbone. Keith has the Xbone.
So make him pre-order it.
Yeah.
See? I'm helping you here.
That's just mean.
Have you played Borderlands yet, Anthony?
Yeah, I played, I think I rented Borderlands 2 for 2 different weekends, and I had a buddy in New York who had it, so we played online a couple of times. So I put a couple of hours into it. It was really fun, but it's one of those things, it's like I don't have enough time to sit down and play this right now, so I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have a box. I found a cheap Skylanders Giants for $23 on Amazon.
Oh, wow.
It's sitting in front of my TV unopened because I won't let myself start a new video game until I finish Coloring Geek.
That
makes sense.
Those kind of games really intrigue me, but I have to go Disney Infinity. We talked about this in the pre-show a little bit, but the fact that Disney has Marvel characters, that means that's what I'm playing.
Well, my problem is that my buddy's kid started playing Skylanders was what got all of us into it, and the fact that you can bring your characters wherever and put them on your buddy's portal, and they work. So the 3 of us adults in our little group that all grew up together, we all bought Skylanders, so wherever the kids are at spending the night, they could always play that game. Mm-hmm. And then when I understood that in Infinity, it's set to where, at least right now, I understand you can make the sandbox like levels of your own, but other than that, like inside the game, if you're in the, Captain Jack Sparrow area, you can't use the Incredibles.
You're correct. I understand that as well.
Yeah, when I heard of that limitation, I'm like, okay, that automatically makes me not want to play that game. But yeah, I mean, there's positives and negatives on both of them, and they're both, great fun and great for collectability. But yeah, I've been doing the Skylanders one, and yeah, now they're 4th set's coming out, and I haven't opened my box on the 2nd one yet because I won't let myself play it.
That's fair. I understand that. I've been playing way too much stuff lately.
Them all, though.
I've been playing Pokemans again.
I've been playing Pokemon off and on as well. Also,
if you haven't done it yet, internet gifts, or like actual gifts that you can receive over the Pokédex. Right now they have a Pokeball Pavilion. If you like free Pokemans,
I like
I've gotten 2 Vivalions through that now. So yeah.
Pokemans. I forgot a Star Wars story I had too, guys. We were talking about the Star Wars stuff at Fantasy Flight, and I forgot the big news that made me squealy. Is that their comicbook.com is reporting that the original unaltered cuts of the Star Wars trilogy are going to be released on Blu-ray by Disney.
Squeak!
Guys, this is not the special edition. This is none of that stuff.
No.
It is the original cuts upscaled for Blu-ray and cleaned up.
These are the ones that everybody wants that Lucas said he would never release again, and now Disney's like, oh, we want to make a couple $100 million, so we're going to print new Blu-rays.
Yes. According to comicbook.com, their sources at Disney say there have been plans to release an original cut for some time, but the project has been underway for a while and a challenge because of damage to the original negatives. But their goal is to release A New Hope, Empire, and Return of the Jedi in their complete unaltered form without the redone special edition special effects. There is no news on when this date is that it's going to happen, but that they are working on it, and oh my god, yes please, do it.
Please. Please. And it's like that was just money they weren't tapping into. Like, come on. Everybody's going to rebuy it because that's what we've done for the past 30 years is that we just keep buying it.
There's a reason I haven't bought the Star Wars Blu-rays yet, because I told myself I wasn't going to buy yet another recut that changes shit I love about the movies. So I have somehow, over the last 2 years, kept myself from buying them. I don't know how.
I have just the DVDs that my mother-in-law bought me for Christmas 2 years in a row of the prequels and the original set, but I never bought any of the Blu-rays. But yeah, this is one of those things. I have a feeling that when the day that Disney got the rights, I think they started working on this project, and it might have just taken them until now to get it done and ready to release.
Yeah,
because they knew they'd make millions once they're able to sell the version of Star Wars that everybody still has on VHS tapes that are slowly dying because you can only watch them so many times. Now you'll be able to put them on a Blu-ray that it will basically last forever, at least at this point, the way media is.
I'm just so happy that Darth Vader screaming no like a little bitch as Luke gets electrocuted will go away now. I'm so happy, guys. I can't even put into words how happy I am about this.
He's actually, for those of you who are just listening, he's actually crying a little bit.
I might have teared up a little bit. Let me look. Does it look like there's some tears?
He's so happy I think his hair's growing back.
Yeah, that'd take a lot more than happiness, I swear.
No, us.
I didn't have anything else on my list. Oh, I just see John Barrowman took the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge.
Yeah, there's a bunch of good videos. I actually
Stephen Amell. I was going to say, Stephen Amell challenged him.
Nice. I actually just thought of one more thing for anybody that hears this episode or within the next 3 days and 2 hours. The book Humble Bundle right now is Boom Studios. And oh my god, if you go the full $15, you get, what is it? It's 114 issues of 22 different comics titles.
Damn.
So it's almost like every run of every book I've heard about Boom putting out. It's like it's the main set. You have Imagine Agents 4 issues, Evil Empire 3 issues, 4 issues of Curse, Dayman 1 through 3, Dead Letters 1 through 4, just a ton of all these series, 1 through 11 of Sons of Anarchy, and then the pay more than the average, which right now is $10.17. You get the complete 6-issue run of Six Gun Gorilla, 3 issues of Translucid, the first 3 issues of The Woods, the complete 4-issue series of Hacktivist, which is the comic that was started by Alyssa Milano, which I own all the actual issues. The artist is the same guy doing the New Warriors right now, Marcus Toe, so it's beautiful. And it's one of those things, it's not where a celebrity wrote it and it's crap. A celebrity helped get it done, and it's fucking amazing. It's basically what if someone that had funded Facebook wanted to change the world with it in a good way and actually take down bad governments. It's an incredible story. And then also in that, above $10 is the first 16 issues of the New Planets of the Apes runs, volumes 1 through 4, and Mouse Guard: The Black Axe. So yeah, it's probably the biggest bundle I've seen books-wise, and I looked at it, I should probably just get the... No, if here's $15, I'm done. Like I had to give $15, but yeah, it's a gigantic stack. I downloaded all of them. It's just in the PDF form. It's just short of a gig of comic books for $15.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's the best book bundle I think I've seen on there since the Image one. And the Image one I only didn't get because I literally owned hard copies of like 90% of the books that were in the bundle. And so the few that were on there, I still would have actually saved money just paying $15 and getting the ones that were remaining that I didn't own. But at the time, I really didn't have the cash. But for this one, I was like, oh, $15 for this amount of comics. And out of these ones, I own a Hacktivist, and that's it. I didn't own any of the rest of these books. And so there's a ton of brand new comics that I got, including also in that set is the Fairy Quest Outlaws. That's the Humberto Ramos, Paul Jenkins ones that they've been doing the Kickstarters for. So it's the first 2 issues of that. There's some damn good books in here.
Damn. All right, I'm going to check that out. I do have a last news story I meant to bring up. This one, normally Naki brings us the Doctor Who news, but I brought this.
Oh, yeah, I was actually just reading that while Anthony was
I just saw that on Facebook this morning, too.
Naki, I'll let you take the news then, because you'll be able to give it its proper... the proper feels, because I know you like Doctor Who a lot more than me.
Peace out, Clara, you fucking terrible companion. I hated her. Okay, for those of you who haven't actually read the news, Jenna Louise Coleman has announced that she is leaving. Christmas will be her last episode. Bye.
Okay, Naki, I'm halfway through the first season of Matt Smith, so when does this chick show up? I've never even heard
Clara,
of her. I'm like way behind.
Okay, she is the last season of Matt Smith's run, so last year.
Okay, because it's like everybody's talking about the companions leaving for the new guy. I'm like, wait, hasn't he only done like 1 episode so far, and he's already losing his companion? What the hell?
Yeah, she'll be around till Christmas, and like I said, bye, because she was. I don't think Jenna Louise Coleman is a bad actress. I think she was giving some really shitty role. Clara is what everybody is referring to as Clara Borings when Boringswald, because she literally has no personality at all.
Wow. and so, but it comes across as just poor writing, not bad acting.
Yeah, it's poor writing. Well, obviously poor writing. Like, I have a really big problem with Moffat. I don't like what he's done with the companions. And it was actually really funny. I was watching an interview with one of the original Doctor, or one of the classic Who's, which one was it? I think it was Peter Davidson, who was just like, I don't understand where all this kissing came from. Why is there so much kissing in Doctor Who? Like, like, it was, like, she just became another love interest, and it was just so boring. She was so boring. So, like, when I was just reading this, like, I was just like, bye, like, whatever, I don't care. I really, like, I hope Peter Capaldi gets a well-written companion who will, like, be a fighter with him, because the way that it sounds like he's going to be a fighting doctor, the way Christopher Eccleston was.
And also, bear in mind, the article I read on this said that she probably wouldn't be leaving until somewhere around Christmas time. So that's probably, what, about halfway through the season?
That actually would be the complete season, I think.
Okay, so that's at the end of this season. So you still got this season of her for all you Doctor Who fans.
Yeah, I don't think anybody cares.
I will say that how I found out about this news is I saw it on Twitter, where Tony from Chemical X Show was tweeting Trin about it. And I was like, oh, I should probably mention this.
Yeah, I was just reading it on the Face Space.
I gotta get caught up on Doctor Who.
I have to actually watch Doctor Who.
Honestly, I never minded Matt Smith. I just felt bad for him because he was handed some really shitty writing. But David Tennant is my favorite Doctor. Christopher Eccleston was an amazing Doctor. He did not get a long enough run. I think if he had gotten a longer run, he would have been my favorite Doctor. Boyfriend does not like Christopher.
My Doctor.
Yeah, boyfriend doesn't like Eccleston. He thinks
I love Destro. Destro's a great Doctor.
He's a great Doctor.
That's awesome.
I've tried to go back and watch Who, the classic Who. I think I just missed it. Missed that train.
Yeah, I saw they put all of them on Netflix. I added it to my queue, but I haven't tried to see if I could go back and watch them yet to see if it'd be entertaining enough to keep me interested.
It was kind of like when I tried to go back and watch classic Star Trek, like original series. I couldn't do
that's
it.
still fun.
I like it in a
fun.
sense, but I got more creeped out because every time I turned it on, my grandmother would appear in my room and talk about how William Shatner's hot.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that'll stop someone from watching a TV show right
Yeah,
there.
that would definitely derail my love of Star Trek some.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
Shatner in that tight shirt. Mm-mm-mm.
My
And
grandmother
girdle on
has
at the same
such
time.
a crush on William Shatner. It's ridiculous. It's
Nice.
crazy. Think of a crazy Irish woman in love with William Shatner.
Ugh.
He just turned 73 last week. So
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah, but she actually watched classic Star Trek. So my nerddom runs deep apparently.
Well, looking at the time, guys, we got about 5 minutes left, so we should probably just wrap up in our traditional fashion of sharing with the lovely audience what we've been getting into, what we are going to be getting into. And how about ladies first? What are you doing, Naki?
I fucking finished Arrow. So there you go. You got
Woohoo!
that. On top of that, I have been playing Pokemans and Battle Block Theater and Borderlands 2. Because this is my 3-week summer vacation. This upcoming week is my last week of summer vacation. I've also been writing a lot because I have a new idea that I'm trying to work out. So, been writing a lot. Last night I was at the all-night flea market, and I picked up the series called Warlock, which is a Adam Warlock series. I believe it was in the 90s or maybe late 80s. From what Anthony and I were talking about in the pre-show, it looks like it's his origin story. And if Guardians of the Galaxy is going in the direction that I think it's going with, Adam Warlock will be introduced.
Yeah, because I believe they showed a cocoon in the collector's collection. And for those that don't know, the Infinity Gems are what they're introducing in the Marvel films. Definition of a galactic badass is when you're born with an Infinity Gem in your forehead. Adam Warlock is a badass.
Oh, this is a little bit of a funny story from last night. So there was a bunch of kids who were hunting through comics last night, and I keep overhearing them because they're like in that same route that I'm taking. They're digging through the comics and they're like, "Are the new Guardians the same as Guardians of the Galaxy? Who's the Guardians of the Galaxy? Who's it? That kind of looks like the person from Guardians of the Galaxy." I looked over at them and I'm like, "The new Guardians have nothing to do with Guardians of the Galaxy." Oh, really?
Guardians of the Galaxy are Vance Astrovic. Major victory.
So I get about 3 tables ahead of them, and that's when I found the Warlock series, and I'm like, I need that.
Nice.
Because I am that bitch. But I was just like, they're not going to know that he's part of Guardians anyway, so whatever. They're just going based off the movie.
Yeah, they are. So before we move off of your stuff, Naki, Draftsman has a question for you. He goes, "What's your problem with Clara? Seriously, Naki, why must you hate her? She was so good. Asylum of the Daleks."
Asylum of the Daleks, is that the first appearance of her?
I have no idea. Don't ask me.
Okay, so here's the thing. Before she became a companion, Clara appears in the series, and she was actually really interesting, because I was like, ooh, this girl could be cool. She just keeps randomly appearing. And then they wrote her into the most boring, lovesick puppy ever. And I was just like, oh. And what it used to be was that the companions used to be there to... Their lives didn't revolve around the Doctor. They still had lives. Like Martha Jones still was a doctor. Rose Tyler still worked at... technically, I mean, she was fired after the first episode. But she was technically still a shopkeep. Their lives changed when the Doctors came, but they weren't obsessed with the Doctor. They didn't feel this need that they were, that their lives just absolutely revolved around them and their lives would end with the Doctor. Clara falls into that category, where she was just there to make the Doctor better. She was just a pawn. That is my problem with it. If you go in, like, I can say that I watched some classic Who in the sense that I've watched the Eighth Doctor. I watched some, I believe, the episodes with Ace, where these are characters who stop the Doctor from being a dick. Like, these are characters who,
nice.
Like, Donna Noble is if we're going through like current Doctor Who, Donna Noble is what a classic companion used to be, and Donna Noble is still my favorite companion.
That was the kind of redheaded chick he stole from her wedding, right?
Technically, she just appeared in his TARDIS, but yes, Donna Noble was the last companion that David Tennant had.
I watched through all of 10. I have trouble remembering all the names of the companions. I don't have the Who knowledge locked in my head yet. I need to rewatch everything.
Draftsman continued on there. He said, then why is the new companion the girl from the Secret Garden?
Oh, God, is it really?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
That's what he asked.
I don't know.
I don't know shit all about Doctor Who. Don't ask me stuff.
I was just like, as long as Moffat's writing women, he's not going to write them well. And I've just come to terms with that. Like, he doesn't, and he's even come out and said that he doesn't view women as people. So it's just like, okay.
Which is so sad for someone who apparently can write amazing sci-fi, but can't write female characters.
Well, apparently we're too far out of the realm of sci-fi.
This has been Naki on Doctor Who, and if you guys want more news about General Clara leaving Doctor Who, I'm sure Gallifrey Public Radio and the GonnaGeek Network's going to be talking about it, and I did want to mention also happy 2 years with them, because it's been 2 years now, I think, since they started, what I saw on Twitter this morning. So you guys got some awesome news on your 2-year mark.
I have to say, though, Moffat might be right. It's probably easier to write time-traveling sci-fi Time Lords that go everywhere than it is to write women.
I don't
Time
understand.
Lords are a lot easier to understand.
Then why can okay, you're gonna make me go on this rant, but George R.R. Martin writes women amazing, and all he says is that because women are people.
Well,
why
that
is
makes
this
sense.
difficult?
I don't know. Some writers just have that hole in their game. I thought it was funny because I always think back to when Gerald's Game came out from Stephen King, and a lot of reviewers liked the book so much that they accused him of having his wife Tabitha King write it, and he could write a female character that well. And I thought it's really weird that all those people forget that his first book was Carrie. Yeah. His first book was the story of a teenage girl.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
It is true. And I mean, Stephen King, another one who writes amazing women. Joe Hill, another one right there. Like, Joe Hill has this tendency to get his women raped, but at least he writes very dynamic characters. And I don't know what it is about certain writers. They find them difficult.
Joe Hill I've read is Lock and Key, but yeah, his female characters in that book are amazing.
Mm-hmm. He's him and his father write amazing female characters. So
now in my head, I'm just thinking of Jack Nicholson in what is it? As Good as It Gets. How do you write female characters so well? I just think of a man, and I take away. Oh, what does he say? I can't remember. I take away self-respect and responsibility or something. Like it was some ridiculous fucking line.
Oh, I can't remember it. I saw that movie forever ago. Okay, we should probably wrap up because that was what we were trying to do.
With what we've been getting into, Draftsman put us on a nice tangent, and I liked it. I'll go next because mine's quick. I finished Orange Is the Black season 2. I am rewatching Chuck the series right now because I forgot how much I loved it. That's what I play on Netflix when I'm cooking anymore, and it's really a lot more fun than I remembered some of the early episodes. And I am now playing on my Xbone the new Tomb Raider. Well, the last Tomb Raider game. Surprisingly fun. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it's actually a pretty fun game. So kudos to you guys. And this is after I beat Wolfenstein, which was surprisingly fun, but I would not have paid $60 for it. Just a quick review. I got it on sale and used a Best Buy gift card / coupon and got it for like $22, and it was totally worth $22. Don't know about $60. Nice. And that's all I've really been getting into, so I'm going to toss it to one Anthony Bachman.
I'll try to make mine quick. Between Netflix and my VHS tape collection, I've spent the week going back and watching every Robin Williams movie I have access to. I won't get into it too much. My favorite one is What Dreams May Come, and I only made it 30 minutes into that one. It's the only one I really can't watch yet because it's all about him dealing with death, so that was a little hard.
It's a really hard movie to watch right now. I was also in that same
film,
boat.
But yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, we did, like I said, there's a Spoiler Alert Theater episode out there. We did the entire Robin Williams IMDb this week, which was just a blast. And all of us talking about his influences in comedy and all this stuff. And yeah, that was one, it really hit me hard. I didn't cry when my real father died. I really didn't care much. When I came home that day from work and found that Robin Williams died, I fucking bawled. That guy's been basically, showing the world how to be funny my entire life. So yeah, that one definitely hit me hard. And I do want to say to the people that were trolling his daughter on Twitter, I hope you all die slow, painful fucking deaths.
They need to go to hell.
Yeah, those people are awful. But on a good note, I've been Color and Geek. I actually had a little offer to help clean up some pages for a Kickstarter. So I was working on that last night. I'm going to finish that off this afternoon. So there's a Kickstarter. I'm not going to name names, but they just needed some help with Photoshop and cleaning up some ink work. So I did that real quick, and so I know that there's a Kickstarter that I backed that's going to have some cleaner pages on the finished product, so I'm kind of happy about that. Picked up my comics on Payday Friday. These are the ones I haven't read yet.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it was a big 2 weeks at my shop. But the new issue, Invincible 113, Robot's a Prick, and it's still the best superhero comic book in the universe. They started The Edge of the Spider-Verse, which they're finding out that the whole Spider-Verse thing that's coming is when Spider-Ock disappeared for 24 hours during the introduction of the new Spider-Man 2099. This book starts off with what happened to him, is that where Doc Ock ended up during those 24 hours. And it starts with him living in Miguel O'Hara's apartment in the Spider-Man 2099 future. So it's a pretty cool start. Original Sin Spider-Man was good. Original Sin 7, like Chris said, they finally show you who killed the Watcher. This book is batshit crazy, but it's been really fun so far, and I'm stoked to see what they do with the last issue. Wolverine's only got 1 month left to die, and then he's done.
Yeah, thank God.
The best one, I got a little late because issue 2 is actually out. Genius #1 came out. Mark Bernardin. Some people might know he's a friend with Kevin Smith, entertainment writer and comic book writer. He's been on a bunch of episodes of The Fat Man on Batman when they go back and watch the movies of Batman. Mark Bernardin's the one that sits and bullshits with him. This book was a Top Cow pilot season from 2008. They won, and it now is a 5-issue miniseries. Everybody can go check it out on Top Cow's website. They have issue #1 available as a free PDF, so you can go read #1 for free right now. It's a great idea. There being one tactical genius basically born in every generation, and in this book the question is, what would happen if the tactical genius born in a generation was a female in basically South Central LA? She unites the gangs and takes on the LAPD, which a lot of the guys that have been working on it have been doing a lot of talk on Twitter about the Ferguson thing, and the fact that this book is highly topical, and they honestly, both the writers say they wish that it wasn't, because they're really sad about what's going on over there. But in a way, like, this book covers a lot of the shit that's being dealt with in real life right now. So yeah, Mark Bernardin, Mr. Adam Freeman on Twitter, and Afua Richardson, who's actually she's the artist, and she's an African American female. So it's awesome to see a female artist getting an awesome book out there, and the artwork on this book is as amazing as the storyline. So yeah, I would highly recommend everybody go pick up Genius #1 and #2. They're both in stores right now.
Do it.
Do it.
That's what we're saying. It has to be done. So, looking at the time, we are a little over this week, so you guys get a little extra ATGN because we love you guys that much, or something like that.
Because we shake our booties for you.
We do?
We dance
or
like...
Naki does.
Yeah, Naki does.
But I don't put on my camera.
Well, I have the camera app. I can turn it on for you.
I'll do the bounce of love for him.
Please don't put on the camera. I just woke up. That's like the problem. Like I don't mind being on camera or anything like that. The problem is I wake up 10 minutes before I go on the air.
We need to start waking up Naki earlier. This sense of mystery. I think people are missing her on camera. That's why the peanut gallery is so small.
No. Turn camera off.
Can you actually turn her camera on without her being able to control it?
Yeah, watch. I'll turn yours off. See? Just turned Anthony's camera off.
Nice.
And I'll turn it back on. Because I'm the host
Suddenly
of
naked.
the Hangout.
Suddenly naked.
And I can also turn
comes
off
the
his
shirt.
microphone. So if Naki just starts getting annoying for some reason, I make
You
mute.
can just mute her. I forgot that, if you're the host, you have
I
all
could do the same to anyone who's on the Hangout. I wouldn't do it.
Chris has all the power.
What's the fun of
All
using this
the
power? Unlimited power. Maybe that's the name of this week's episode.
Can
I
I
have no
ask-
idea. What?
Making pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Bacon, and I put it in a pancake.
On that note, guys,
Pancakes, making bacon pancakes.
I think we're out of here. Don't forget, we stream live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern over at live.atgnpodcast.com. You can hit us up on the Facebook, the Twitter, all the social medias. If you want to be a part of the show, leave your feedback there. If you're interested in guest hosting, also leave your feedback there. We'll bring some guest hosts back on again at some point. But any final words, guys, before we get out of here?
Robin Williams in Star Wars.
Damn
Anthony?
right.
There you go.
Oh, no, actually, yeah. My last word would be Bangarang!
Damn it,
Good
that's what I was
morning,
going to say.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Well, my last word's also bangarang, so there.
Nice.
Bye, guys.